She's the Hollywood icon who captured our hearts on screen, but off-screen, her love life was anything but a fairy tale. Uncover why Sally Field, despite her fame and beauty, said never again to marriage. From tumultuous relationships to public scrutiny, let's discover the compelling reasons behind her vow to remain single. Early relationships and first marriage. Born in Pasadena, California, Sally Field started her acting career in the early 1960s. By the mid-60s, she was a household name, thanks to her role in Gidget and later The Flying Nun. Her charm and talent quickly won over audiences. At the same time, she was navigating the complexities of young love. In 1968, she married her high school sweetheart, Stephen Craig. They were both very young, with Sally just 21 years old. This was a time of immense change for her. Not only was she adjusting to married life, but she was also dealing with the pressures of rising fame. Balancing a burgeoning career and a new marriage proved challenging. During their marriage, Field and Craig had 2 sons, Peter and Eli. The joy of motherhood was a significant part of her life, but it also added to the strain. Juggling a demanding career in Hollywood and raising 2 young children was no small feat. In interviews, she later reflected on this period, acknowledging the difficulties she faced in trying to meet everyone's expectations, including her own. By the early 1970s, cracks began to appear in the marriage. Field's career was taking off, with roles in films like Stay Hungry, 1976, and Smokey and the Bandit, 1977. The success brought more work and more time away from home. The distance between her and Craig grew, both physically and emotionally. In 1975, after 7 years of marriage, Field and Craig decided to divorce. The split was not scandalous, but rather a quiet end to a union that had struggled under the weight of external pressures. The divorce marked a turning point in her life. She was now a single mother, working tirelessly to provide for her children while continuing to build a successful career. In a candid interview with Oprah Winfrey years later, she spoke about this challenging time. "I was so young and didn't know who I was. I was trying to be a wife, a mother, and an actress. It was overwhelming," she admitted. Divorce and the aftermath. The divorce from Stephen Craig in 1975 was a significant turning point. At 29, she was suddenly a single mother to 2 young boys. The end of her marriage was not sensationalized in the media, allowing her to navigate this difficult period with some degree of privacy. However, the emotional toll was profound. Field found herself at a crossroads, balancing the demands of motherhood and a burgeoning acting career. Her dedication to her children, Peter and Eli, was unwavering. She focused on creating a stable home environment for them despite the upheaval. In interviews, she often spoke about the guilt and challenges of being a working mother. "There were times I felt like I wasn't there enough for them," she admitted, "but I always tried to make the most of the moments we had together." Professionally, the mid-1970s were pivotal. After the divorce, Field's career gained momentum. She starred in the miniseries Sybil, 1976, portraying a woman with multiple personality disorder. This role was a stark departure from her previous work and showcased her range as an actress. Her performance earned her critical acclaim and an Emmy Award. It was a career-defining moment that solidified her status in Hollywood. The success of Sybil opened doors to more challenging roles. She worked tirelessly, often taking on projects back-to-back. Despite her professional success, she struggled with loneliness and self-doubt. The divorce had left her questioning her decisions and the direction of her life. She sought solace in her work, which became both a refuge and a means of self-discovery. Each role she took on was a step towards understanding herself better. Amidst the chaos, Field found strength in her independence. She was determined not to repeat the mistakes of the past. Her focus remained on her children and her career. The divorce had taught her the importance of self-reliance and the value of personal fulfillment, rise in career and personal growth. Post-divorce, the late 1970s and early 1980s marked a period of significant career growth and personal development for Sally Field. As a single mother, balancing the demands of her profession and parenting was challenging, but she navigated it with determination and resilience. In 1979, she starred in Norma Ray, a film that became a turning point in her career. Field's portrayal of a factory worker fighting for labor rights was powerful and poignant. Her performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. solidifying her status as a serious and respected actress. This accolade was not just a professional triumph, but a personal vindication of her abilities and choices. The success of Norma Rae led to a series of strong leading roles. Field starred in Absence of Malice, 1981, alongside Paul Newman, showcasing her versatility. The film was a critical and commercial success, further cementing her place in Hollywood. Her ability to take on diverse roles from drama to comedy made her a sought-after talent in the industry. During this period, Field focused heavily on her career. The demands were intense, but she found solace and satisfaction in her work. Each role was an opportunity to explore different facets of her talent and to push her boundaries. Despite the pressures, she maintained a close relationship with her sons, ensuring they felt loved and supported. In 1984, she starred in Places in the Heart, a film that earned her a second Academy Award for Best Actress. Her portrayal of a widow struggling to keep her farm during the Great Depression was moving and authentic. Field's success was not limited to acting. She also ventured into directing, showcasing her versatility and ambition. Her directorial debut, The Christmas Tree, 1996, demonstrated her storytelling skills and her passion for the craft. This move behind the camera was a natural progression in her career, reflecting her desire to take on new challenges and to continue growing as an artist. Throughout this period, Field's relationships were marked by caution and introspection. Her experiences with love and heartbreak had made her more discerning. She was determined not to rush into anything, valuing her independence and the stability it provided for her family. Relationship with Bert Reynolds. The relationship with Bert Reynolds began in the late 1970s, during the filming of Smokey and the Bandit, 1977. Their on-screen chemistry quickly blossomed into a real-life romance. Bert Reynolds was one of the biggest stars of the time, and their relationship was highly publicized, drawing significant media attention. Field and Reynolds had a connection that was undeniable, both on and off-screen. They starred together in several films, including The End, 1978, and Hooper, 1978. Their dynamic was electric, but the relationship was also fraught with challenges. In her memoir, In Pieces, she described Reynolds as controlling and demanding. He was terrified of the truth, she wrote, explaining the complexities of their bond. Despite the intense passion between them, the relationship was turbulent. Reynolds' larger-than-life personality and Field's independent streak often clashed. The public scrutiny added to the pressure, making it difficult for them to maintain a stable relationship. Reynolds was notoriously private and often struggled with the constant attention from the press. Their relationship lasted for several years, during which they both experienced significant professional success. Reynolds was at the peak of his career, and Field was solidifying her reputation as a versatile and talented actress. However, the personal strain of their relationship began to take its toll. Field was committed to her children and her career, while Reynolds' demanding nature made it hard for her to balance her personal and professional life. In 1982, Field and Reynolds' relationship came to an end. The breakup was painful for both, but it was a necessary step for her to regain control over her life. "I needed to free myself," she later revealed. The relationship had taught her valuable lessons about what she wanted and needed in a partner. After their breakup, Field and Reynolds remained friends, though their relationship was never quite the same. Reynolds often spoke fondly of her in interviews, describing her as the love of his life. Field, on the other hand, reflected on the relationship with a mix of nostalgia and clarity. "Bert was a vital part of my life, but our relationship was not sustainable," she stated. Second marriage to Alan Greisman. After her intense relationship with Bert Reynolds, Sally Field focused on her career and children. It wasn't until 1984 that she met producer Alan Greisman. Their relationship began quietly, away from the public eye, which was a stark contrast to her previous highly publicized romance with Reynolds. They married in 1984. This union came at a time when Field was experiencing a surge in her career, having just won her second Academy Award for Places in the Heart. The couple welcomed a son, Samuel, in 1987, adding joy to her life. Unlike her first marriage, Field was more experienced and self-aware, bringing a different dynamic to her relationship with Greisman. However, the challenges of balancing her demanding career and family life persisted. Field's dedication to her craft often required long hours on set, travel, and the inherent stress of the film industry. Despite these challenges, she was committed to making her marriage work, leveraging her previous experiences to navigate her second marriage. Field's career continued to flourish during this period. She took on a variety of roles that showcased her versatility and depth as an actress. Notable films included Steel Magnolias, 1989, and Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993. These roles were not only commercially successful, but also critically acclaimed, solidifying her status as a leading actress in Hollywood. However, as the years went by, the strains on their marriage began to show. Field's intense focus on her career and the demands of raising 3 children created a distance between her and Greisman. In a later interview, she reflected on this time, acknowledging the difficulties of maintaining a healthy relationship while pursuing a demanding career. By 1993, Field and Greisman decided to part ways, ending their marriage after 9 years. The divorce was amicable, with both agreeing to prioritize the well-being of their son, Samuel. Her second divorce was less tumultuous than her first, perhaps due to the maturity and understanding she had gained over the years. In her memoir, Field spoke about the end of her marriage to Greisman with a sense of acceptance. "We had our good times, but ultimately we grew apart," she noted. Field emerged from this marriage with a renewed focus on her career and her children. She continued to take on challenging roles both in film and television, proving her resilience and dedication to her craft. Her experiences with love and marriage had taught her valuable lessons about what she wanted in life. Later, relationships and dating experiences. After her second divorce, Sally Field approached relationships with a new perspective. Her experiences had made her more cautious and discerning. She was now more focused on her personal growth and the well-being of her children, Peter, Eli, and Samuel. Despite this, she did not completely shut the door on love. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, Field dated sporadically. These relationships were kept private, away from the public eye. She had learned from past experiences that public scrutiny could add unnecessary strain to her personal life. By keeping her relationships out of the spotlight, she was able to protect her privacy and maintain a sense of normalcy. One notable relationship during this period was with film producer Tony Adams. The two shared a connection, but the relationship ultimately did not lead to marriage. Field, reflecting on her dating life in an interview, mentioned, "I've learned to enjoy the companionship without the legal bindings of marriage. It's about finding joy in the moment and understanding each other's worlds." Field's children were a significant part of her life, and their opinions mattered to her. She wanted to ensure that any relationship she entered into was beneficial not just for her, but for her family as well. This careful consideration often meant that she prioritized her children's stability over her romantic pursuits. Professionally, Field continued to thrive. She took on roles that allowed her to explore different aspects of her talent. Films like Forrest Gump, 1994, where she played Tom Hanks's mother, and Lincoln, 2012, in which she portrayed Mary Todd Lincoln, showcased her versatility and depth as an actress. These roles demanded much of her time and energy, leaving little room for romantic entanglements. Field's later relationships were characterized by companionship and mutual respect rather than the intense passion of her earlier years. She valued the connections she made but was clear about her boundaries. This approach allowed her to enjoy relationships without the complications that often come with marriage. "I found peace in my own company and in the simple joys of life," she shared in an interview. Her relationship with Tony Adams and others during this period highlighted her preference for companionship over commitment. She found that these relationships provided emotional support and companionship without the pressures and expectations of marriage. Field's later dating experiences reinforced her belief in the importance of personal independence. She had seen the challenges that marriage brought, especially when coupled with a demanding career and public scrutiny. By choosing to date without the commitment of marriage, she was able to enjoy the best of both worlds. Philosophical views on marriage. As Sally Field entered her later years, her perspective on marriage and relationships continued to evolve. The wisdom gained from her experiences with love, heartbreak, and independence deeply influenced her philosophy. She often shared these reflections in interviews and her memoir, In Pieces, offering insight into her personal journey and her reasons for avoiding marriage. Field's view on marriage had become pragmatic and self-aware. She recognized the societal expectations placed on women to marry and maintain traditional family structures. However, her life experiences had taught her that these expectations often did not align with personal happiness or fulfillment. "Marriage is not a one-size-fits-all solution," she stated in an interview. "For some, it brings joy and stability. For others, it can be stifling and restrictive." Each relationship taught her something valuable about herself and what she wanted in life. Field emphasized the importance of understanding one's needs and not conforming to societal pressures. Field often spoke about the importance of self-love and personal growth. She believed that true happiness came from within, and that relying on a partner for fulfillment was often unrealistic. "You have to find happiness in yourself first," she explained. "If you're not happy alone, you won't be happy with someone else." This philosophy guided her decisions and allowed her to build a fulfilling life on her terms. Field wanted to set an example for her children. She hoped to teach them that relationships should be based on mutual respect and understanding, rather than societal expectations. "I want my children to know that it's okay to be alone and to be happy with who they are," she shared. Field's approach to relationships also included a focus on companionship and emotional connection without the need for legal or formal commitments. She found joy in deep, meaningful connections that did not necessarily lead to marriage. This approach allowed her to maintain her independence while still enjoying the benefits of close relationships. "I've learned that you can have deep, loving relationships without getting married," she said. "It's about finding what works for you and being true to yourself." Family, friends, and support system. Her journey through relationships and her decision to avoid marriage were deeply influenced by the strong support system of family and friends she built around her. This network provided her with emotional stability and strength, enabling her to navigate the ups and downs of her personal and professional life. Field's family played a major role in her life. Her children, Peter, Eli, and Samuel, were her anchors. Despite the challenges of being a single mother, she maintained a close and loving relationship with each of them. Field often spoke about the joy and fulfillment she found in motherhood. "My children are my greatest achievement," she shared in an interview. "They have been my rock through everything." Her relationship with her mother, Margaret Field, was also significant. Margaret, an actress herself, understood the pressures of Hollywood and offered guidance and support throughout her career. This bond was a source of strength for her, especially during challenging times. "My mother was always there for me, encouraging me to follow my dreams and stay true to myself," Field reflected. Field's friendships were equally important. Over the years, she formed close bonds with fellow actors and industry professionals who understood the unique pressures of Hollywood. These friendships provided a sense of camaraderie and support that was crucial for Field. She often spoke fondly of her close friend and co-star Tom Hanks. Their friendship, forged during the filming of Forrest Gump, was a source of joy and mutual respect. "Tom has always been a dear friend, someone I can rely on," she said. Her friendships extended beyond the industry. Field valued the relationships she had with people outside of Hollywood, finding solace in the normalcy and authenticity they offered. These friends provided a grounding influence, reminding her of the simple joys of life. "It's important to have friends who see you for who you are, not just as a celebrity," she noted. Field's support system was not just about emotional support, but also practical help. Balancing a demanding career and motherhood required assistance, and she often relied on close friends and family for help with her children. This network allowed her to pursue her career without compromising her role as a mother. "I couldn't have done it without the help of my family and friends," she acknowledged. In addition to her immediate support system, Field was actively involved in various advocacy groups and communities. She was a vocal supporter of women's rights and often participated in events and initiatives aimed at empowering women. These communities provided a sense of purpose and belonging, further enriching her life. Field's support system also played a role in her decision to avoid marriage. The strong bonds she had with her family and friends fulfilled many of the emotional needs that a marriage might have provided. She found that these relationships offered the love, support, and companionship she valued, without the complications that often came with marriage. "I've realized that my family and friends are enough for me," she said. "They provide all the love and support I need." Advice and insights for others. With decades of personal experiences and professional triumphs behind her, Sally Field often shared her advice and insights on love, relationships, and life. Her reflections resonated with many, offering wisdom and encouragement to those facing similar challenges. Field's journey through love, marriage, divorce, and single parenthood provided her with a wealth of knowledge that she generously imparted to others. One of Field's key messages was the importance of self-acceptance and understanding. She emphasized that knowing and loving oneself was crucial before entering any relationship. "You have to be comfortable with who you are and what you want in life," she said in an interview. "Self-acceptance is the foundation of any healthy relationship."